Hello, everybody. Here we are.
Greetings.
Hello.
Welcome to Spirit Candy.
Spirit Candy, June 16th, 2020.
To
good to see you on this bright, sunny day.
It is that.
Thought I was going to be the only one drinking there.
Well,
You never know,
you're
right?
late.
There's not much chance of that.
All right. That could be interpreted in many different ways.
And absolutely. in
Many different ways.
Mhm.
So, I hope everybody's doing good. Hope you guys all had a great week. Loads of rain here in Kelowna. I don't know anywhere else, but oh my gosh. Oh, I know my brother lives in Calgary, and wow, the hail and the weather that ripped through there was
enormous.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tennis ball size.
I know. Well, you saw the
Hailstones.
picture of his windshield, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Holy cow,
Smashed.
like
Wow.
massive holes.
Smashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we
Alberta gets those storms.
It's
We
true.
don't. And I'm very thankful.
get floods and forest fires.
Oh, yeah. There is
Every
There is
region
that,
has
yes.
its own thing, right?
Yeah.
Very
So
much so.
so pick which one you want and go with that.
Yeah.
Live
Move there.
with it.
That's right.
Mm.
So what we've decided here at Spirit Candy is to let you guys know that by 3 p.m. every Tuesday, there will be something up, right? Whether it's a live. Personally, I prefer going live because the quality is good. Then I don't have to use my techie skills
Her favorite thing to do.
to try and figure out how to get
Not.
it to right,
Not.
how to get it to upload clearly, where our words match our mouths in the video, and
Yeah.
Blah,
look
blah, blah.
look back a few videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. So every Tuesday by 3 p.m. we'll have a new message from Archangel Michael. So that way it you guys know when to tune in, and kind of takes the pressure off of us a little bit too, right?
It
'Cause-
does. Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. So anything you guys want to add?
No, I'm waiting to see what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, should be good.
Yep.
All right, you ready?
Alrighty.
All right, here it goes.
Okay. Okay. I need space.
You move that? Okay.
I need space. Thank you very much.
Ready to tell you.
Okay. Let's see what he has to say to start our day. And of course, he's going to be asking for your input, your questions, your feedback.
This week, we do not have any questions from anybody posting a question. So we'll see what Archangel Michael has to say.
Mm-hmm.
If you do tune in live, feel free to drop a question in the comments, right?
Please.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's just getting into his groove. Takes a minute. Hello, one and all. I have done some research.
I'm not saying a word. She did it.
Yep,
I
yep.
mean,
Uh,
she's a troublemaker of the bunch, right? Like it's truly.
Archangel Michael doing some research.
he's doing research.
They must have
She's not buying
libraries
into
up
that. They do. Of course, we have libraries.
Duh.
We're collectively brilliant.
there. All right. I'm glad to hear.
So sometimes we still need references.
Okay.
There is a limit. For instance, when someone, a seeker, inquires about a past incarnation, we have volumes we have volumes that would knock your socks off.
Is that like the Akashic Records?
The Akashic Records and more.
And more.
Oh, and
Okay.
more. Cool.
So much more.
What's the
Okay.
difference? Like I always thought an Akashic record was a record of our whole soul's existence. So what's the more?
The more is our interpretation of the soul's journey.
Cool. Didn't know that.
The lack, the broad abundance, the fullness that must be attained for a soul to advance into the entirety of their journey. So, freeing us is our own report card, if you will, on every incarnation of a given soul. So the records are a grand reference to what that particular soul has accomplished. Doing the review in depth gives us much more perspective to help guide the seeker.
Cool. That's neat.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Carla has a hard time sitting still.
Yes, the lovely Ms. Wigglesworth is Oh, I just got the look. Did you see that?
I love it. Miss Wigglesworth. That's going to be your new contact name in my phone.
My goodness.
Sorry.
You earned it.
Fine.
It's true, though. She can't sit still.
Oh, thanks.
Glad I didn't have a mouthful when that
I
happened.
just love these little interludes.
Yay.
I wonder where we left off.
The records give them a more in-depth.
Of the accomplishments of the soul.
Oh,
Right.
that was impressive. Nice.
Yeah. Yes, was.
Maybe that's why you wiggle.
Maybe. Just digesting it.
Mm-hmm.
Helping it get down there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's fascinating, isn't it? So it's like they have a report card on us, as he said.
Yeah.
And it's not good, bad, or otherwise. It's just their perspective on the progress of because we choose what it is we need to accomplish it in every incarnation. If we succeed, that's another story, and how we choose to follow that
Sometimes
path.
we're not succeeding.
A lot, yeah.
I think there's I'd like to take the word succeed and maybe shift it a little bit, because if there is no right or wrong, there is no good or bad, we don't succeed or fail, right? We either learn what we needed to learn, or we simply gain not only, I mean, we get to do it again, right?
Yeah.
So, if the same thing keeps happening, there's something in there that you're not learning. But I choose not to look at it as a failure. It's I'm not done learning yet. I haven't learned everything I've needed to learn to put that lesson to rest.
Yeah.
Right? Just because failure, when you succeed, the opposite of success is failure, and nobody likes how that word feels.
No, that's true.
My interpretation of the other side of the veil, you don't succeed or fail. It just simply is, right? It just is. It is. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I'm just going to relate back to, I've had a lot of involvement with family members that have been sick and dying and what have you ever since 2011. And it seems to be bumper to bumper. And so I was chatting with Michael, and I said, well, obviously that's the major part of my journey. And he says, no, it's not. It's holding you back from what it is you need to do.
Oh,
So that was a bit of a eye opener for me. And
so then, why is this happening in your life? This is an interesting
it
subject.
is.
yeah. So then what's the lesson, right?
Exactly.
What are you not quite?
Is it your family then interfering,
Mhm.
or is it you not allowing yourself to say, I'm not doing this?
Yeah. And that's like you and I talked about yesterday.
Yes.
Carla worked on me yesterday, and I've been overstuffed with things to do.
Yeah.
And to the point where you really couldn't work on me, aside from giving me energy. Right?
You wouldn't have gone anyway. You
Yeah.
would have just fallen asleep and be done with it.
Crashed
So-
and burned.
And so
Yeah.
what I interpreted is that you don't set your boundaries. We can allow people to interfere with our lives up to a point, and then you have to say, that's it, no more.
Yeah. And
And that's neat because it comes back to choosing you. It comes back to loving you, right?
Yeah, it
Like
does.
loving yourself enough to know when to say no. I've been blessed enough to be involved with a coach, and she shared with me, you know, when we have our boundaries, you're actually saying yes to that other person. And it's really neat because, you know, I like to kind of pull back and look at things from a different way, and to pull back and look at it. When we choose ourselves, we open up the energy for other people to choose us too, but it also frees up these little ties, right? So, you know, when we choose a boundary, when we choose ourselves, when we choose to love ourselves and put ourselves first, the way that it's meant to be in a healthy, loving manner, what that does is that frees up this energy because now we've kind of gotten that part of the lesson, and now we can kind of get going with what it was that we've agreed to do or what it was that we've chosen to do, right? And it frees the other person up as well. So many times it's like, oh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. I want to avoid conflict. I want to avoid conflict.
Or I want to help them.
I want to help them, or all
support
these,
them,
yeah,
etc., etc. But that is sometimes you support somebody or you help somebody to your own detriment.
and their
Very much so.
detriment as well, because if you know, people are hanging on to this idea, and when we don't let go, well, we keep ourselves stuck and we help to keep them stuck. And if we just kind of go, you know what, this is what it is, and this is the way it is, and this is what's best for me and my heart, right? Holly at Shawanda used to always teaches, when what you think, say, do, and feel are all in alignment, that's when we're right where we're supposed to be. And I mean, same thing with it. Lots of different ways to say that.
Sure.
But when what you think, say, do, and feel is all the same, you free yourself up from unnecessary ties, and you free up whomever it is you're involved with unnecessary ties as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's so neat, just to go off on a little tangent. So many times when we're afraid to choose to do those boundaries, to set those boundaries, or to choose ourselves, what we're really, it is, and even in our practice, oh, I'm so scared of success. It's like, well, are we really afraid of, or I'm afraid of failing? It's like, are we afraid of failing, or are we afraid to actually step into our greatness
and get out on a limb?
You know, like it.
That's
like,
so true.
Yeah, like, I mean, all of us have been blessed enough to see how big our soul actually is. We're this big, beautiful, ginormous spirit stuffed into this tiny little human body, and we create these ways in order to keep us small. And if we just kind of take a leap of faith and lean in to what our heart is telling us, we can actually be big, and shine the way we're meant to shine. So sorry, I don't know, I just kind of went off on that little one there.
That's a good off.
I thought so.
Yep.
So Colette, there is your lesson.
There's my lesson. Yes.
There's a lesson for everybody, I think, in that.
Yes,
personally,
absolutely.
right? I know I can relate that back to me in a lot of different areas of my life.
As most of us can, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And especially when we find ourselves in a caregiving role, that can be a little difficult to extract yourself when you know there's such need. Let's see what he has to say on this, because something tells me he has something to contribute.
We're not done yet.
No. Okay. So you have changed gears
Oh, I'm so sorry.
on,
Sorry, Michael.
on my perspectives, but that's okay. This is an opportunity to describe how we in the spirit world work with souls
Cool.
during their incarnations. So, do you, Collie, that's my nickname, choose to be in service to your highly draining, loving mother until she escapes this plane and comes to heaven? Okay. Kind of a tricky one to answer. I have,
Good question.
it's a very good question, but I have definitely been making strides. She is now in the assisted living and getting her set up. So my belief, my intent is that now today's actually the day that she's, what is it? Her isolation is over today.
Quarantine, yeah.
Quarantine. Yes.
Lockdown.
Same.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Anyway, so now she'll be able to meet people and dine with people and start having a social life of her own. And I'm encouraging that heartily. And that in turn should free me up to work on myself, which I'd be really grateful for that. Does that answer his question? Or did I just ramble?
believe it did answer your
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's
how it works. So we review Collie's
Yes.
sense of obligation. We see that she is hardworking and invincible in her dedication to others. We see her drowning in commitment.
Mm-hmm.
The report card will say she has to embrace her own worthiness to be able to rise above obligation to other, so that she can evolve as intended in this incarnation. If she does not reach grandly for her potential, for her chosen purpose, she will repeat and repeat the same challenge in future incarnations.
Don't they get harder if you don't learn it Don't they just get harder
Every
and harder?
time
and
they
That's
get harder,
that's
yes.
been my personal experience. Is they get a little harder.
Get a little harder.
Yeah.
They do get harder
Yeah.
because the old intentions are heaped upon the new in subsequent incarnations. So, in other words, whatever I or anyone, if we don't accomplish what we chose to overcome
Yeah.
in a certain life, that definitely goes onto our plate for our next incarnation, plus
whatever we
everything
decided in that,
else.
yeah.
So the burden gets heavier.
More to do, for lack of better words,
Yeah.
right? So you get to, you didn't quite learn it in this lifetime.
Yeah.
So you get to learn this one because you agreed to do it, you didn't do it. And you've agreed to do this one. So
Yeah.
now you have more. And really, we're limitless. And, this isn't our first go around here on wonderful Earth.
No.
So some of us have quite heavy loads, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got something to say?
No,
Yeah, you do.
I haven't got anything to say. He's saying it all.
Oh, he's saying it for you.
Yeah.
All right. I never really quite believe her because she just knows so much. She's got lots to impart. Right?
And not as much as Archangel Michael.
Okay. So are you saying, does that answer your question? Do we remember our original question?
We were talking about the difference between Akashic records and the records that the angels or that the other side of the veil keeps. And that led us off on a tangent about succeeding and boundaries and choosing you. And
So let's get back to Archangel Michael.
yeah, maybe his original, sorry to interrupt.
Maybe he had something else in mind to talk about today.
True. We'll find out. I eventually get to say what must be said. So, if you three can possibly hold your observations
Fine.
for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Sheesh. You.
We always get in trouble from Archangel
I
Michael
know,
for talking too much.
He says, you take the piss out of me every time. Well, you do expect it, right? He does. And it generates more conversation.
Anyway.
Real joy, real delight seems to what? Seems to have promise in your world. Things are beginning to shift. People are starting to acknowledge humanity over prejudice. Seeing the congregating masses worldwide to support Black Lives Matter, to resist the arbitrary control of the military, be they local police or army or any organization that is designated to manage behavior of individuals. The changes to drown out the heinous dark side will truly begin with the changing of the concept of policing. It should never be warlike. How? The police, the military, the controlling organizations worldwide can evolve is to free people, not jail them. Help people, not kill them. The human need to be cared for will slowly work its way into the groundbreaking perspective that love is everything. Hate is what's so wrong. As opinions are changed through education, through compassion, through helping, so too the world. To aerate the air. The what? The happenings, the shifts will start with earnest attempts to open eyes, to open hearts, to unlock the source of fear that is always boldly misunderstood. When humanity inspires goodness, it will become a golden virus unto itself, in that the world can get better. It can heal. It can accept individuals for who they can be. People helping people is the intent. Of living on your planet. So each one of you, think about your true feelings. Consider the prejudice that has limited you. I don't mean against a color of skin or a religion. Think about the limiting beliefs you carry, that you all carry, and decide, is there value still in hanging on to that belief system? If it limits your growth, figure it out. Let it go. Like use toilet paper.
Ooh.
Once and for all. Okay, well, that's an image.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No counting.
Yeah.
But I absolutely understand what he's saying. My early 40s, and you'd both know this, I did just a massive detailed breakdown of who I am as an individual, what my belief systems are, how do I truly feel. And as I did that work, and this took me months, I did it every night. I sat and I wrote and I wrote. It was completely non-emotional. It was just a breakdown, a process. And so I looked at my belief systems, and for instance, I was raised with respect your elders. And then I had experiences throughout my life where elders were certainly not my friend. And, but having in my mind as a child, having to respect them because they're my elders, led me down a path of not stepping up for myself, not feeling that I had that sense of value, because everyone would have control over me because they were my elders. And I'm really literal, as I mentioned before. So even if you were a week older, you're my elder. And when I made that realization in my 40s, it had really limited my life a lot. And that's like part of what we're talking about today. Part of why I'm such a caregiver. It's that was my role. My mother was suicidal when I was a little kid. And so I started taking care of her then. It's like our roles switched. And I think there's a lot of us have very similar experiences where we just kind of step in to help, to try to calm what would the word be? Try to stop the dark things from happening. And so looking back at your life, looking back at your belief systems, how things have affected you, and then reshaping them into something that actually has contemporary value for you and how you relate with other people. It's pretty massive. What do you guys think?
So it's sort of like a soul searching, is
Mhm.
it?
Yeah, it really was. Took me months to do. It was the most freeing thing I've ever done, without a doubt.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-growth always is, right?
Mhm.
Self-growth always
Yeah.
is,
Mhm.
It's always liberating.
Yeah, that was when what was I doing? Oh yeah, so I realized that I'm always very drawn to intelligent people, and but then I looked back at my ex-husband, really intelligent. We could talk forever, and still could, I'm sure. However, he was extremely jealous and very controlling. And so I started thinking, okay, well, I compared his personality to my personality, and where was the value in that for me? And for him, I didn't want to be controlled, and but that's what it took for me to see it. So there's a lot of things that you
Mm.
can look back on
Yeah.
that help you see how you are. Are you
How you learn
settling?
the lessons.
Yeah. Are you being proactive, or are you just avoiding? And it really will help you shift if you ever take on that particular challenge.
It's like you get to learn
Mhm.
and then unlearn
Yes,
so that you can relearn.
Mhm.
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the respect your elders things.
Yeah,
I-
we're respecting your elders. I think we're all growing up with that idea.
Yes.
Respect your elders.
Yeah.
and- which is fine, which we should.
Mhm.
It, but it doesn't mean you have to adopt what they're saying
Exactly.
or doing.
Yeah.
Right. You respect everybody. We should respect everyone
Just for being human.
just for being who they are,
Mm-hmm.
but not follow their path.
Mhm. Yeah, and I just came to a belief system and within myself that I will respect anyone until they give me reason not to.
That's about it.
Yeah.
What if we were to say accept rather than respect? Because they're, like
Mhm.
words have energy and there's
That's right,
loaded
they do.
meanings behind them all. And respect conjures up something.
Mhm.
And like even if we look at our kids, right? If
Mhm.
we look at children, especially children that are being born now and in the
Mhm.
last 10 years, as humans evolve, we're different. That's why your toddler, your 4-year-old can help you more with technological things
Yes, that's true.
than an elder, right?
Yes.
So I'm kind of sitting here going with respect, and I'm thinking about my own kids and how they're very strong in respect is something that needs to be earned.
Yes.
Okay, great. How about if you accept?
Mhm.
If you accept everybody for who they are and where they are and just be okay with that, and then sit with that and go, how does that resonate with me? How does that affect me? What does that do for me?
Mhm.
Without being unaccepting, right? And then
Yes.
it comes back into that unconditional love,
Mhm.
right? If you accept everybody,
Mhm.
then that ties into unconditionally loving every being just for being here.
And whatever they do, which does not mean we have to become subservient,
Mhm.
And
like with your mom.
Mhm.
You're subservient to
Mhm.
your mother,
Yes.
and that is not acceptable, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And
That's fair.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that goes with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, even, as we pull back and pull back and pull back and look at things from a
Mhm.
broader scale, we might not accept certain things that are happening or the way certain things have been handled or dealt with or played or whatever word you want to
Mhm.
put in there. But we can still accept these beings for who and what they are. But it doesn't mean that we have to conform our lives around them
Yeah.
or that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and that's absolutely true.
mhm.
I mean, for me, referencing respect, there's individuals I do not respect, but I accept who they are,
Exactly.
and I
Yes.
understand who they
That's
are.
what I'm trying to say.
And
Absolutely, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right?
they're
Respect
two
and
different things.
Yeah, respect and accept are two different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Two
because
different concepts.
there's lots of people that I don't respect, but I
Mhm.
accept them for simply being human,
Yeah.
and because they're here on this planet,
Mhm.
learning their lessons,
Yeah.
doing their
Mhm.
thing, they are worthy of that acceptance.
Truly.
Yeah.
And we can, even though we may not respect someone, doesn't mean we can work with them or around them as needs be. Because like for me, when I understand how someone's going to respond, what their perspective is, there's a lot of things I wouldn't take to them. It's there. I wouldn't be able to pull out of that what was essential, and so I'd go to someone that I respect for that. And it just depends on what the situation is. But
Yeah.
yeah, acceptance is actually kind of easy. It's like, hey, that's how they tick.
Yeah.
And if that's how they tick, okay, well, I'm not going to go there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, he's
Okay.
waiting. He's drumming his fingers again.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. That was both insightful and heartily connecting for so many who strive to manage too much in their lives. Human beings
Human beings.
are complicated creatures.
Yes.
Real growth has to be cultivated with very strong cords of intention. So instead of being reactive all the time, become proactive. So if someone pisses you off, simply say, that is your opinion, and leave it. You seem to carry everyone else's stuff. So try to recognize that their stuff has no business being in your backpack.
Perfect.
I like that.
Yep, absolutely.
I like to have those little visuals that I can picture that.
Visual.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So, make your situation as comfortable and realistic as possible. Try not to layer, L-A-Y-E-R, your invisible backpack with other people's baggage. Recognize that it belongs to them, and you are not responsible for any of that. Yes, he's talking to me.
And whomever else it may resonate with.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
It's always nice to know that we're not alone in our lessons. eh?
No, isn't that the truth?
Gosh, no.
Yeah.
Totally. Perfect.
Good advice for anyone who can use it.
I think most people can. It's a matter of recognizing that they need it.
Well, chances are, if you're watching today's broadcast, then you're one of those ones that might need it, right?
Mhm.
Because we're always given what
Yeah.
we need when we need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It always shows up. Isn't that the whole way spirit works in our
Mhm.
lives?
Shows up at the right,
Right.
time.
That's true. As long as it really helps if we're paying attention.
Yeah.
It really does. Well, anything to add to that?
No, I think we're good.
We're good.
Yeah. Good
Okay.
for this week.
Is there anything else that we should talk about?
How's our time?
Oh, we're at 44 minutes.
Oh, hey, we're pretty much on the button then.
Yeah.
Okay. So long
Oh, wonderful.
for now. Bye-bye. Ta-ta.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Michael. He be done. Okay.
Oh, well, there you go. This week's message.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, comments, opinions? Drop a comment down below. Let us know.
I
Please.
suppose with the covert lockup,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, all of us had to live with our family 24/7.
That's fact.
Could have been a challenge at times.
Oh, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Especially if you're used to having a job to go to and your
Mhm.
partner is going to their job and
Mhm.
your children go off to school and you don't see each other until
Yeah.
supper time. All of a sudden, they're in your face, right? So I understand it can be a challenge at times.
Yeah. How could it not be?
How can it
Yeah.
not be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Hmm.
I've been very fortunate. Ever since the golf course has opened up,
Oh,
our world's
yeah.
been a better place
Yes.
because he goes to his happy place,
Yes.
and I'm content. How about you?
We did really well. I'm blessed my kids are
Mm.
older, and we all managed to isolate quite well together.
Good.
Absolutely.
I still remember the day when my late husband retired and he decided we go traveling. Wonderful. So he bought this humongous big motorhome and nearly gave me a heart attack by the very thought that this was going to roll down the road. But okay.
Jeez.
And he was used to just going to his offices in the morning, telling everybody what to do. And he would come back later in the afternoon and it was all perfectly done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here we are in the
Okay,
motorhome.
I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. You can see.
I just-
how
I-
it goes.
Telling
yeah, I
Carla
did.
what to do. Oh no.
I connected that dot.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
right.
I had my own business, so
Yeah.
nobody told me what to do, and
Because
all
you
of a
got to tell them
sudden-
what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets up in the morning and goes, "Okay, we're going to go here today, and we're going to do that, and then we're going to go here, and then we're going to eat over there." And I'm like, "Who are you talking to here? Excuse me?"
And he's
It
going,
was-
"What? What's your problem?"
It was quite a challenge. It took us about 10 months to iron all that out and
yeah.
being able to live with each other in peace and dignity. So
Congratulations.
yeah.
A lot don't.
But yes, I have met couple who started traveling together, and when they came back, they would take everything out of their motorhome or their trailer, sell everything, split up, have a divorce, and live happily ever after, or so they thought.
Yeah, right.
Yes, but it takes some challenges, but you need to sit down and communicate.
And that's
That is
challenging.
the biggest thing that people sometimes forget.
Communicate though from your heart, right?
Yes.
Because we
Yes.
can communicate. It's like, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so in order to be
That
happy,
makes sense.
comes back to that place of acceptance.
Mhm.
You know, like they
Okay,
both had to
yes.
accept that
Mhm.
they're
Accept
both
the
coming
other
from
person,
jobs that
yeah,
where they were
yeah.
the boss, and you know, you had to accept certain things, and I've had, goodness knows,
Mhm.
we've all had to accept certain things. But do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Yes.
It's sitting down and communicate.
From your heart space.
It's the only way
To
you're
be
going
happy.
to resolve
Yeah. Absolutely.
these kind of
Yeah,
situations.
because you're right. That's a challenge for most of us right now.
Well, not just right
Well,
now,
I-
all the time.
All the time. No,
Right.
because of the
Since the
virus,
lockup,
though.
yeah,
Because of the
right?
lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Since the
more
lockup.
since that.
It-
Yeah.
it's
I
really
mean-
exaggerated now.
Many people never had to look to their family
No.
24/7 in their face, having to cook the meals,
Or
do all
wanted
the
to.
laundry, doing
Yeah.
the homeschooling, make sure
Yeah.
the computer is available for the children to do their lessons,
Mhm.
and then try and keep your husband ready. I mean, I can only imagine what Rebecca, for example, goes through.
And it's
3 children and her husband, all of a sudden, they're all home.
Yeah. Overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Easily. Yeah.
So communication is the only way to resolve and get along.
So true. Yeah. Very true.
absolutely.
Anyway,
On that
Cool.
note,
On that note, thanks everyone.
thanks for joining us.
thank you for watching us, and please leave a comment or a question for the next session.
It's always helpful.
Yeah, we'll see
Cheers.
you next week.
Yeah. Looking.
Bye.
Bye-bye.